What's up everybody, this is Army Boy here, and do you know what we don't get enough of anymore? Games about cowboys and the Wild West in general. I mean, what do we have? We have Red Dead Redemption, that very old cowboy game called Gun, which I'm not even sure what that's about anymore. And apparently there's a whole mess of these Call of Juarez games, so those are the only ones I've heard of. I didn't even know that the Call of Juarez was like a series. I just thought it was this one game. But anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing Call of Juarez Gunslinger, which I bought a little while ago and have now done 2 playthroughs of. I did a playthrough on hard difficulty and on hardcore. So let's just hit play game here. Now there are 3 different categories of gameplay that you can choose from. You can do the story mode, which like I said I've now played through twice, the arcade and the duels. Now to be honest, I'd only recommend doing the arcade and the duels. Sorry, I have to think about it when I fucking say that word. If you want to compete against friends. Now there's like a whole leaderboard system throughout the game where you can compete against your friends who play it as well. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody else that owns it, so I don't really see much point. The only other reason would be for achievement purposes, but for now I'm mainly going to be covering the story. So you've got new game. You can new game plus it once you beat it. There's a hardcore mode as well, which is what I did on New Game Plus. Fucking beat that, got the achievement, was lots of fun, and is quite doable. So we're just going to hit New Game here. I'm not going to New Game Plus, and we'll just start it off on normal for this video. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about tutorials. So anyway, the game starts out, you play as a bounty hunter known as Silas Greaves, and the basic premise is you walk into a pub and start telling these few old guys your life story. And as a player, you then play through Silas's memories, reliving what he went through as he's telling it to these people. So there's quite a good story setup as such for the game.
Don't I know you, sir?
Pretty much all the cutscenes are like this. They're done in this drawn way, static, so that you can like reading a book. Basically, is how all the cutscenes are done. So the game basically starts you off on this first level, which acts as a bit of a tutorial level for the rest of the game. Now, something I want to make a note of straight away before I get too far into this game or forget, you do have to adjust your eyes a little bit to the graphics design. Now, at first I thought I was running this on some strange resolution or something, but no, this is what they intended the graphics to look like. It's not really a problem, to be honest. It's just kind of strange. The first thing that I encountered playing this game was the funny graphics design. Now, after a while of playing, you do get used to it, so it's not really that big of a deal. Now, there is a leveling system in this game, which I'll just demonstrate, where you basically choose a skill tree. Now, you can have multiple skill trees, you can chop and change what you like, and when you New Game Plus it, you keep all of your previous levels and yet still level up more. So you can, you know, maybe if you didn't finish a skill tree, you can level up and finish off what you was doing. So for some reason it started me with 8 levels already, so I'll just put one in randomly. And you basically build around each tree, and halfway along you unlock a silver weapon, and at the end you unlock a gold one, which basically just do more damage, has better stopping power, etc. So there's 3 main functions of the first person shooting in this game. You got your regular aim down the sights, pull the trigger shooting, and you've got the slow motion effects, which you can't actually do yet, but I'll demonstrate when I can. And the sense of death, which is something else that you pick up later on. Sense of death is basically dodging bullets. Now, it may sound a little bit OP, but you will be using the hell out of it when you reach the harder levels are when you start playing this on hardcore. Wow, I leveled up already. So this is basically how the slow motion works. You hit Q, it focuses in on the enemies and everything slows down. Obviously, as you've started seeing, with each kill you score a different amount of points, which all add up to your final score at the end of the level. Now that is another thing that is noted on the leaderboard. So even playing the storyline, you're gaining points towards the leaderboard. So then your friends can play against you and see if they can get a better score. See, now I don't know if you can notice or not, but the graphics seem to have adjusted a little bit and things all seem a bit more. You can tell what things are a bit better. Okay, so let's just clear out all these suckers. The general shooting engine in this game is actually quite good. Throughout all of my playthroughs, it's fun to shoot the hell out of things. Here we go. Here's the sense of death. You basically have to dodge out the way of the bullet. Now, it didn't do it there, but normally it will lock you back on to the guy that shot the bullet for an instant headshot, basically. Now, like I said, when it gets further on, you start using the hell out of that so much because it makes life so much easier when trying to dispatch difficult enemies. Anyway,
a lot of them were saddle tramps or
if you're not a big fan of commentaries throughout the game, then this might get a little bit annoying because Xylus does talk throughout the entire game, but you know, he's telling his story to these people and you're basically playing through his story. There are environment things that you can use to help you in the firefights, like I just did there with the blowing up of the barrels. Later on in the game you'll get some dynamite which you can basically throw around like grenades, which does get pretty fun, as well as being able to shoot dynamite out of the air, which is amazing. But that's not till later on in the levels. I'll try and show you some of that if I can. See there again, blew the hell out of all of them. I believe there's some other things as well that you can use in the environment, but that's the main one, which is explosive barrels. Okay, now throughout the game you'll be meeting up with lots of different characters throughout the Western world. People like, I believe this is Billy the Kid. Am I correct in that? Yeah, Billy the Kid. There's Billy the Kid, the Dalton brothers, Jesse James, all those kinds of people, and that's an interesting fact that you're playing. The game includes real characters and real people. It's not just made up a couple as like filler content or whatever. Okay, so here's where you get the Winchester rifle, which is my favorite weapon because I fired one in real life before and they're pretty awesome. This was also the skill tree that I put into, was the one for the golden Winchester, which is pretty awesome. I'm not sure if they call it a Winchester in this or just a repeater rifle, but I don't care, it's amazing. It's clearly a Winchester, alright? One thing I'd like to mention, the music in this game is very fitting and pretty awesome, I must say. Fits the mood perfectly, it's very Western style of music. Definitely not something stupid or out of place that a lot of games tend to add in these days. There are quick time events in the game, however they're basically just like that for dodging bullets or making quick execution kills. There are whole segments where you may be doing that for about 30 or so seconds, but there's not that many. It's not like you're doing them every 5 minutes or for every kill, so you know, they don't get in the way, they don't get annoying, and they're not consistent, well, they're not repeated like they are in some games so much. This is another awesome feature. A lot of the times you'll get a choice either to break down the door or just open it. Break it down every time, because guaranteed there's going to be this on the other side. Tons of dudes for you to shoot. There's no sort of stealth sections or areas that you might not kick the door down and have to open it. It's basically just up to you, really.
Now, where was I? You were heading for the bar. Right. Making my way past a passel of fallen foes.
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with them, more of these hapless bastards would pop up.
Dual wielding weapons is one of the funnest things in this game that you can do. There is a skill tree for it, I do believe. Let me just check. Yeah, but I can't remember which one it is. You can also dual wield sawn-off shotguns as well, but you can't wield Winchesters, which is unfortunate. So the weapons basically include 6-shooter revolvers. There's sawn-off shotguns and full double-barreled shotguns, and the Winchester rifles.
Sheriff Pat Garrett.
So there's quite a large variety of weapons that you can use that sort of covers every sort of play style. Okay, now this is the duels. At the end, mostly at the end of each chapter, you'll have to duel somebody, and they can be quite difficult, especially in the hardcore modes, so don't be surprised if you mess them up the first time. It's basically a case of positioning and half decent timing. I'm going to see if I can do this one in one hit, although it is on normal, so I should be able to.
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
So basically what you have to do is first off start to focus in on the target and make sure that your hand is in the right position. I believe on the maybe on the normal difficulties you don't have to do that, you've only got to focus in, and when the heartbeat starts you have the choice whether to draw first or draw second. Now depending on which one you do gets you an honourable or dishonourable kill. See, like right here I'm going to get it honourable because I drew second.
In a fair fight.
Obviously, depending on which ones you do, gets you a better score.
That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett.
But there's tons of those to do. Sometimes you may be dueling against 2 people and not just one. I believe there's even a section at the end where you have to swap between each target in order to kill both of them, which is quite exciting and difficult to do.
And last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's not Billy.
And go on, how did it end?
And, boy, that was...
So at the end of each level, you'll get obviously a success and a total experience earned and everything else, basically your stats for the game. Now this will go onto the leaderboard for this level, which your friends can then view, and if they so wish, try and challenge you and beat you at it. So that's one of the cool features about this game, is the fact that all your score is recorded, and people have a chance to beat your score and get higher on your friends' leaderboards. There are collectibles in this game known as Nuggets of Truth. They are the only collectible in the game. Each Nugget of Truth will appear in the level as, say, a playing card or perhaps a cowboy hat or something like that. There is a perk that you can get in one of the skill trees that will point out Nuggets of Truth when you get close to them. And basically what these are is little bits of historical information about different characters in the games, or different people or things that you're trying to find or do. So it's, you know, quite an interesting little thing that they've added. I'd recommend that you collect all of them as well, as there is an achievement for doing so. So overall this game is very fun. It's a cool, exciting, however linear arcade shooter. I would recommend this game to anybody who's interested in shooters in general and interested in storyline, which I hope I haven't spoiled too much of. You know, I enjoyed everything about this game on all of my playthroughs. The gameplay is fun, the weapons function very well, they're very fun to use. The general gameplay is just amazing. So as an overall rating for this game, I would give it a very strong 8 out of 10. There's really not a lot to complain about here. The interesting graphic style, like I said, was possibly the one thing that confused me at first. But really, the game is great. The scoring system is also very good, especially if you want to get competitive against your friends, maybe play the arcade modes and different bits like that. So 8 out of 10 for Call of Juarez Gunslinger. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll try and polish it up a little bit. Cheers for watching. Stick around for more reviews and videos. Okay, thanks, bye.